November 8th, 2018 regular board meeting to order at 6:02 p.m. To stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, we're so thankful for your love and your blessings, and Lord, we just ask that you'd be with us tonight, that you would lead, guide, and direct us. Father, help us to do the business of our children in this county. We just ask your protection over them, Lord. Help all the decisions that are made would be in accordance to your will. And we just ask your blessings upon everyone that's here, and that, Lord, thank you for loving us during this wonderful season that we're approaching. And we just thank you for being God and just really all the love that you've shown us. And Lord, thank you for your blessings to our school system. We just ask that you continue to bless our school system, that we can protect and teach and just help raise our kids here in Pickens County in the manner in which you would be pleased. For these things we ask in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item will be to approve the agenda. Hear a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second. Motion by Ms. Lewis, and second by Mr. Long. And by the way, we are missing a board member, but she is out of town, out of state, as a matter of fact, so it'll just be us tonight. Any discussion? All in favor? 4, none opposed, motion carries. Next will be public participation. Ms. Wendy Klingle.
Oh, that's me. I got it. Hello. Okay. Hello. Yes. Okay. Thank you for letting me speak. My name is Wendy Klimble. For those of you that don't know me, I'm a parent, I'm an advocate, I'm a person who cares. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit today as a follow-up to my coming to you last year. There's been a lot of good things that have happened, so I wanted to share them with you. As you know, working together can be very tricky. Everyone has their mission and perspectives, and when we come together and talk about something as important as our children, there can be a lot of passion involved on everybody's side. So working together doesn't always mean that I get what I want or that you get what you want. It's just more about coming together and being open to what's possible. So if we come at it only from our own perspectives, unable to see that of others, we're going to lose. That's why it's important that I come to you every once in a while and give my perspective. So we need to stay open and vulnerable, which can be quite terrifying actually, but we're doing it. We're really doing it, and I wanted to share with you some of the positive things that I have seen happen in the last year. So last year I came to you and talked about some kids who were moving through the elementary school and not learning how to read. So in working with the school team and the fabulous special education department, I wanted to share with you that we have finally gotten the right staff and interventions in place for this one particular student. And at the beginning of this school year, I actually got to watch her in a video read an entire story. And she's so confident and she's doing so well. So it was amazing. And the teacher who worked with her happened to be someone named Miss, I think, Thrasher. She was really incredible. And she came to us with lots of colors and data, and it's exactly what you want to see happen. So I think it's important that you hear about the good things, not just the struggles. So, and I also think it's important for parents to understand that if you're not seeing what's supposed to be happening with your kid at school, if you don't think the right things are happening, and you're working with your school team, you have to know that we have an incredible special education department with Joni Boswell and Kelly Flatt and Christy Bone as the director. It's a dream team. So everybody's willing to help, and I appreciate that. So thank you for getting the right people in place to make a difference for our kids. And I also talked last year about trauma. Trauma in our community, and I told you this last year, there's so much trauma in this tiny little area. It's just incredible. It really impacts our children and our community, and you went so far as to hire a trauma counselor, which was super huge and fabulous. And I hope that's going really well. In addition, I heard about the mindset training, which I've heard a lot of the educators talking about. Sounds like it's really making a difference, so I appreciate that. I also want to give a shout out to our administrators and their Facebook groups, because one of the things that really is helpful when we're working with children and families is transparency. And you know, people want to know what's going on, and people want to feel involved. And Dr. Flatt, who's not here, but he does an incredible job on Facebook. And I know Tate also does. All the schools are doing really well of posting, which brings the community together. Like when you're sharing what's going on, people have no other way to go but to jump on board and say, hey, this is great. And we do, we have incredible things. I'm really surprised there's not any student recognition tonight, because we do have super incredible things like Emma Long, I mean, I'm sure you saw. And we got our huge game tomorrow. There's lots of positive things going on. And I know a lot of times you guys are under the spotlight and under the gun for some really hard decisions, but I just want to reiterate that when we work together and when we look at other perspectives, we can make differences. It's a big deal. I have heard some things that are a little concerning that I just want to just mention, so they're there. I know we contract with Highland Rivers, and we do our mental health through them. I've heard that some schools are saying because we contract with Highland Rivers that we won't work with other therapists or agencies. I want to assure you that there is enough trauma for everybody, and it's totally better to include everybody. So I don't know if you guys know about the Pickens Family Connection meeting that meets the second Wednesday of the month. But a lot of community agencies come together to figure out how we can best support our community. So if we all stay open to including all of those agencies, we're going to make more of a difference for our kids. In addition, as we look at our programs that we want to create, we just have to make sure we're being inclusive. I've heard some people in this county and in other counties say that there's kids out there that just don't care. There's not a kid out there that doesn't care. All kids care. Some kids have just lost hope. So it's our job to restore that hope to them. So all children deserve the best, and when we come together, working together, that's what we're going to give them. So thank you. Thank you very much for your work. And yours. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Ms. Clamble.
I would like to make just a statement, not, jet a couple of things, but we are very much a part of Family Connections, and we've got several members that go every month to that meeting, and they do a great job, and it is a great connection. And I can assure everyone in the audience and everything that if any other agency is looking to help us be better, we're wide open to discussing with any other agency. Just because we have Highland Rivers does not mean that we will not be open or looking towards other agencies, but if somebody says they're not being welcome, tell them come see me and we can put them to work.
Next item will be executive session. I'll move that we go into executive session to discuss or deliberate upon the appointment, employment, compensation, hiring, or disciplinary action or dismissal, or periodic evaluation or rating of a public officer or employee, or to interview applicants for the position of superintendent, and to consult and meet with legal counsel pertaining to pending or potential litigation, settlement, claims, administrative proceedings, or other judicial actions brought or to be brought by or against the school district or an officer or employee, or in which the officer or employee may be directly involved. I hear a second.
A second.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Is there any discussion? All in favor? 4, none opposed. Motion carries. 26 p.m. a motion was made by Ms. Lewis, seconded by Mr. Long to come out of executive session. No action was taken. Do I hear a motion to approve the executive session minutes as read?
I move that we approve the executive session minutes as read.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Finley, seconded by Mr. Long. Is there any discussion? All in favor? 4, none opposed. Motion carries. Next item will be the approval of personnel. I'll make the motion to approve the personnel action report as presented. I hear a second.
I'll second. Thank you.
Seconded by Ms. Finley. Is there any discussion? All in favor? 4, none opposed. Motion carries. Next is Superintendent Reports. Dr. Wilson.
Mr. Chairman, first is our financial reports. Ms. Smith?
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. We'll review our general fund budget. Our revenues, we've collected 12.94% of our budgeted revenue for FY19. As you can see on the top line, our ad valorem taxes are beginning to come in. We are getting some nice deposits. The due date for those property taxes is the first week of December, so we'll see quite an influx of money coming in over the next 3 to 4 weeks. The brunt of it we probably won't receive until the second or third week of December, but we'll be glad to see that revenue coming in. Our expenditures, we're at 24.80% of our budgeted expenditures. Everything is in line. You'll see a couple of areas where we look like we're around the 50% mark. Some of the changes that we have done with some of our contracted services are going to push us to do an amendment. I'm hoping to do several things next month. Still have some federal grants outstanding, so I'm trying to just bring it to you all at one time instead of a whole bunch of different amendments. But we'll bring explanations for all of those too. Do y'all have any questions on this report? We'll go on to our SPLOST account update. For the month of October, we collected $375,969.67 in SPLOST revenue, earned interest of $3,211.61. We have quite a few expenditures. Most of these are the projects that you are aware of, such as progress payments for our Welcome Center at PHS, progress payment for the radio system. We have purchased computers, servers, equipment, sound and video components, switches, lots of technology, furniture, and flooring at various locations as are noted here. At the end of October, our balance is $316,116.00. Do y'all have any questions on those items? And then always, we like to keep you updated where we are in the grand scheme of our SPLOST. Our 12-month average is running $406,790.30. Revenue took a little tiny bit of a dip this month, but we'll watch it closely and make sure that those averages stay up high. They're well above what we use to budget, so we are well within what we have budgeted for this year and for the future projects we have outstanding. Do you have any questions? We still do not have a final audit report either. Sometime this month, I'm waiting anxiously. They say there are no problems that they're aware of, but they do not have the write-up ready for us to do the exit. So as soon as we do, I'll let you know. That's all I have done.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Our next will be the attendance information, and our Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Smith, Mr. Young, is going to take care of it. Oh,
I was going to call worse. I'm going to travel incognito.
Mr. Superintendent, Board, I'll do the reports on attendance for this month. Start with the certified staff monthly. This month's winner goes to Pickens Junior High School for certified staff attendance at a rate of 96.97. I believe we have a representative here from BJ, if you come on up. And I'd also point out that of all of our schools, the lowest certified monthly attendance rate was a 93.5, so they were all really good. But Pickens Junior High was super good, so
Thank you.
congratulations. The attendance reports for the schools, I believe the banner has been brought back, and you don't have to worry about bringing it up because the winner this month is Jasper Middle School at a rate of 96.93. That is awesome. Dr. Wilds is at a conference. Mr. Baisden, I've got your certificate there. Congratulations. Awesome. I'd also like to point out that all of the schools, the lowest attendance rate was a 94.11, so all the schools did really, really good. When we look at our detailed drop history by month, our grand total is 6. For the month of October, we're looking at a total of 4. And we are also pleased to report that through the hard work of Ms. Canfield's department, we regained 2 of those, got them back into a placement, and so the next month's drop history will reflect that. So really good there. Awesome, awesome job. And that concludes attendance.
And then next is operations and construction.
All right.
Mr. Young's going to do that one also.
Mr. Smith did the first one, Mr. Young's going to do the second. The operations update for the month from Stacy. He reports that everything is going smoothly with transportation. Maintenance is staying on top of things. They're also now in the process of preparing the buildings for winter, taking care of the routine maintenance that goes along with that. That is a major undertaking. There are a lot of buildings. A lot of issues have to be dealt with before the cold weather gets here, and they do a great job staying on top of that. The SRO report, you can see that we had 9 vapor fences, and battery, we had 4 accident reports. The food service official free and reduced numbers are in, and it looks like we are going to be at 51.52%, which is slightly above last year's number of 51.31. Beth and her department have put a tremendous amount of effort into getting those numbers and making sure they reflect where we actually are. That takes a tremendous amount of work to make that happen, and they do an awesome job with that. And that concludes the operations report, Mr. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Mr. Chairman, that was my report.
Next will be approval of a natural gas contract.
What we'd like to do is to lock in at a rate, and the rate that we're going to lock in at is 0.328 per therm. We also have the availability that if it dropped 2.5 below 2.5, that it would change our contract and go to the lower rate automatically. But this will save us some money. It's less than what we paid last year, and to lock it in would be it's what our advisors say would be a great move this year to lock it in now. So I would recommend the approval of this contract.
I'll make a motion that we approve the natural gas contract as presented.
Motion by Mr. Long, do I hear a second?
I'll second. Delay.
Second by Ms. Lewis. Any discussion? All those in favor? 4, none opposed. Motion carries. Next will be approval of minutes from the October 18th regular board meeting and the November 2nd called board meeting. I hear a motion for that.
I make the motion that we approve the regular board and emergency call board minutes as presented.
Motion by Ms. Lewis, I'll second that. Any discussion? All in favor? 4, none opposed. Motion carries. Next is board comments. Thanks.
Wow, that Catherine.
I would like to comment to Wendy for, just thank you for all that you do to keep the community informed and for being willing to engage with us. I do think that we've made some strides in providing some mental health services for our students, and I'm real proud of that, and I think Wendy was a big factor in calling some of that to our attention. So I appreciate all that you do for us, Wendy.
Any other comments? Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
It's a record time. What time? 6:30? 6:39.
Motion by Mr. Long, seconded by Ms. Finley. Any discussion? All in favor? 4, none opposed. We are adjourned.